Good day, everybody. We're back, and this is part 2 of our Inquisition into the goodness of the 140 and how well it holds up to the W126. And again, if you are enjoying our videos, then you would really help us by subscribing to our channel, because we need subscribers, and we love it when people subscribe because it keeps encouraging us to bring this good and honest information about classic Mercedes to audiences that need them. And of course, you want to raise the profile of this station on YouTube so that people who are looking for this kind of information will find it more easily instead of having to sift through piles and piles of garbage. Back to the second phase of our debate about the W140 car versus the W126 car is a lot of it has to do with longevity, wouldn't you say, Kevin?
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, I'm in front of you, or from, where are you from? Remind everyone about where you're from.
So I'm from the Washington, D.C. area, and yeah, that's where I drive my cars.
A lot of Mercedes in Washington,
There
D.C.
are a lot of Mercedes in Washington, D.C. I still see a lot of the older 70s, 80s, and 90s Mercedes.
So because attrition is the number one reason why Mercedes are taken off the road, car accidents, roads all bad mechanic, which car has the better survival rate, the 126 or the 140?
I definitely see a lot more 126 cars still on the road. I don't know if it's just because I notice them more, but I notice all types of Mercedes, but I do see a lot of 126 cars, and it's not just the diesels that I'm seeing on the road, it's a lot of gasoline ones as well. And one of the nice things about being in the DC metro area is we do have a lot of gray market cars, so we do see a lot of like the 280 and the 500, ones that weren't originally sold over here. We see a lot of those because of a lot of the diplomats and people from other countries that are coming all the time.
So another thing I love about the 126 is when you go on your major parts suppliers, I don't know, where do you buy your parts typically?
I buy a lot of my parts, Auto House Arizona, FCP, Euro, and Rock Auto mostly.
And would you say, when I go on these sites and I'm looking at parts for the 140 versus the 126, would you say 126 parts are much more available?
They're available. They share them with a lot more cars, like the 123, the 116. There's a lot of carryover between those parts, especially with the suspension and other wear items.
And would you say that they're more affordable than W140 parts?
I don't own a 140, but I know some people that do own 140s, and they are spending a lot of money on maintenance costs on them. I don't know if it's because they're going to a shop or they are actually doing a lot of the servicing themselves, but I know, in my personal opinion, experience, buying parts for my 126 cars has been very affordable.
And would you say that the W140 is a car that is designed for the do-it-yourself, or would you say that it's designed more for the Mercedes dealership to service?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of computers and advanced systems on the car that would require you as an individual to have that type of equipment on hand for a lot of this stuff. So
you're an IT specialist. What happens to computers when they get old?
They break. Everything's very much soldered together. You have a lot of microprocessors, and you take humidity and time, age, heat, and those solder joints fail. You can have things short circuit and fail. So the end result is features and equipment on the car, or the car itself ceases to provide its general purpose for you.
Great. So there you have it, more good information about the 126 versus the 140. I would say if you're considering getting a 140, you need to take a harder look at the 126. And one thing I'll add before we close this conversation is, here at Pierre Hedary's, we have a lot of 126 series cars that show up for regular service, but we get very few inquiries from people who have W140s. And for us to see a nice W140 is, it's a rarity, and for us to see a nice W126 is it's a common treat. And I'd say that enjoying a car like the W126 isn't just appreciating good transportation. It's a celebration of life. It's a celebration of 20th century progress and technology and all the things that make driving cars wonderful. Wouldn't you say, Kevin?
I would say so, yeah.
And so If you would like to learn more about the 126, you should be sending us your questions, and you're going to get a lot more good information if you subscribe to our channel. So please do your due diligence and subscribe and take good care of your Mercedes-Benz. They're not making any more W126s or any of those older cars. They're not going to make any more, so you have to take care of what you already have. Thank you. Do you want me to go back and redo anything?
One thing that I do